good evening, Artemis II crew. As you all approach your final day on this historic journey around the moon, the people of Earth remain inspired by your mission. They are energized by space exploration, and most importantly, they're eager to have you all home very soon. Now, NASA couldn't execute on our important mission without the steadfast support we receive from the United States Congress, who work with the agency to make sure it has the right direction to expand American leadership in space and the necessary resources to execute on our world-changing mission. Now, we have several NASA congressional supporters online today, and they have a few questions they'd like to ask you on behalf of their constituents across the country. Our first question is coming from Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, who spearheaded our One Big Beautiful Bill historic investment in America's leadership in space. The chairman is with me now at Johnson Space Center, and over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Jared. Integrity, this is Ted, comms check. It is, I feel very official now. I will say I feel particularly profound. This is the first and only time in my life when I've stood next to someone who is speaking on behalf of the people of Earth. That's a heck of a statement, and I know that you guys are. I can only imagine the awe and wonderment you feel, but I want to just start by saying thank you. You are inspiring. That is not hyperbole when Jared speaks about the people of Earth. Across the planet, people are watching you and amazed, watching you put food packets away, as we were doing just a few minutes ago, watching you float around with the floating head, and you are bringing people together all across our globe. So thank you. Thank you for your good cheer. Thank you for your eloquence. Thank you for inspiring people. I have two questions. Number one, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself at age 10, what would you tell yourself about going to the moon? And then question two, if and when they make a movie about this, who do you want to play you?
Well, sir, it's an honor to be with all of you, and please say hello to all of our colleagues there at Johnson Space Center. We can't wait to be back. My 10-year-old self, I recently found some photos of myself on a family vacation at Kennedy Space Center, and we were posing in front of the Saturn V rocket with my siblings and my parents. And if I could have told that little girl who took home a picture of Earthrise and hung it in her room that she would eventually launch from that same place to see that same view, I'm pretty sure she would not believe it. But even though I still can't believe it, and she certainly wouldn't believe it, she chased that dream, and it ended up happening. It's such an honor to hear that we've inspired. That's truly one of the top things that we ever wanted to do. And I am definitely not answering the movie question. That's going to be for Reed.
Senator Cruz, it's great to talk to you, and thank you for visiting our friends and family there at the Johnson Space Center. That is fantastic. We've thought a little bit about the movie, and I think that's way out of our pay grade. So we don't know who's going to play us. That's up to whoever decides. But one thing we do know for certain is this guy is going to be played by Buzz Lightyear, 100%, no doubt.
Thank you so much, Senator Cruz. Our next question comes from Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington.
Hi, congratulations to NASA and the Artemis team. I want you to know I spoke to Ann McClain earlier today, and she said the 8 balls are all incredibly proud of you. This mission is a major investment in science and a testament to human achievement. The Orion thrusters were built here in the state of Washington, and I invite you all to come and see the innovation and the people that you've inspired. My question is, as Americans who've traveled the farthest and seen direct observations that are proving so invaluable, once we go back and land humans on the moon, what are we going to learn from the human eye that the moon rovers couldn't tell us?
You know, I hope this really resonates because of right now and what's going on back there, at least what we hear about going on back home and in our communities, I think you all can feel the energy that this mission has brought. I really hope so. And one of the things that I was asked to talk about when I come back by one of my good friends, Tony Antonelli, he said, I want to know how it feels. There's going to be tons of pictures, but I want to know how it feels. And I think a rover can collect data a lot slower, but the human's going to be able to do it much faster. But then they're also going to come back and tell you how it feels. But physiologically, in a technical and medical sense, but also in an emotional sense, so that we can continue to have that human connection, not just the scientific and exploration, but the human connection.
Our next question comes from Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas.
Good evening to all of you. On Monday, Administrator Isaacman and I visited the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson, Kansas. Commander, it's the place you told me was the best space museum in the world. I've repeated that many times. I'd like to extend an invitation to each of you to come visit us in Hutchinson and be my guest. But I also want you to tell me how you can see the Artemis II mission, as well as the Cosmosphere, inspiring the next generation for the well-being of the world.
Well, sir, I'll definitely take you up on that invitation because I have yet to see that museum, and I've just heard amazing things about it. So I look forward to that opportunity. And I hope that maybe something from this mission will end up in that museum at some point in the future. You know, as far as inspiration goes, I really think it comes down to just getting stuff done. And you can have an inspiration program, you can invest a lot of money in that, or you can have a program that just goes out and gets things done, like the Artemis program is doing. And then you can spend your inspiration program dollars on just disseminating that to the masses. And that is what I see happening here right now. I think we're knocking it out of the park.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is for Reed, comes from Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland.
Well, greetings to all of you. Reed, I had a special question for you because of your old alma mater. What would you say to a student attending your old high school, Delaney High School in Baltimore County, or to any other student in America who aspires to follow in your footsteps as an astronaut?
Well, Senator, it's great to talk to you. It's great to talk to you, especially from my home state of Maryland there. Lots of love. And I mean, this could be a huge answer, but most simply, I think that the students of today, they've got to be willing to fail. They've got to be willing to take some risk in their school. Straight A's, that might be important to some, but really expanding your horizons, going out and doing things that are difficult, things that scare you, things that you might have to try a few times before you get them right. That's all well and good, and that's a huge part of the learning process. And one of my biggest takeaways from life is it's not how well you succeed, it's how well you fail. And when you have a tough spot, you got to get up and get back on the horse and keep on going. And I think that's so critical for the youth across the nation and across the world today. Just keep driving and keep trying and keep innovating. Thank you.
Good advice. Thank you.
Next up, we have a question from Congressman Brian Babin of Texas.
Hello, Artemis II crew, Reed, Victor, Christian, Christina, and Jeremy. I'm so proud to represent the team at Johnson Space Center and supporting you every step of the way. The entire country is inspired by your work and your dedication. It's amazing. And my question would be, if you could relive one moment of this mission so far, what would it be?
Wow, we are all brainstorming, and it would be a lot easier if you had said a list of 5, but I'm actually going to go way back because the big contenders are the eclipsed moon, which was one of the most surreal things any of us have ever seen, and it literally rendered us speechless. But I'm going to go all the way back to launch, because when we launched, it is such a quick experience. Our entire powered flight on the rocket was shorter than what we've done in this press conference so far. Yet it is such an incredible, important part of the mission, a dynamic phase in the mission. We train it so much. And if I could go back and replay it in slow motion to just imprint those memories even more, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Outstanding.
Thank you. Our
Thank
next
you
question
so
comes
very
from.
much.
Our next up, we have Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren of California.
Well, hello, crew, and thank you for all you've done. You've inspired people all over the world, and Brian Babber and I work together on the committee to make sure you have support across the board. Your last 8 days have taken place in the Integrity Orion spacecraft. Now, integrity is a quality we all strive for and hope our leaders can live up to. This mission has been unifying in so many ways and captured a global audience. What do you hope humanity takes away from it?
Thank you for that question, and hello to everyone in California. I hope that we connect back to when we went to the moon the first time and we started calling big things that humanity accomplished moonshots, and we take ownership of this moonshot and realize that we can do it. And then we also think about the future and that this is just the beginning, and that there's nothing that we can't accomplish when we pull all of our differences together, not in spite of them, but when we pull them together and we work on something big for the good of everyone.
All right, next we have a question from Congressman Hal Rogers of Kentucky.
We're proud of you and proud of the tracking that's being done of your event at Morehead State University in eastern Kentucky. After emerging from the far side of the moon and seeing the entirety of the Earth through that small window, how has all of this impacted your determination for what America can accomplish in space?
It reminds you, first, just being, right now we're 106,000 miles away from planet Earth still, and we'll be home tomorrow. Part of this is just scale. It is unbelievable to think that we could build an international team led by the United States of America and set our sights out on a sustained presence on the moon and onto Mars, and then we can go and achieve it. And I know we did this in Apollo, and it was absolutely amazing. But I will tell you, having been there, the four of us having been there just now, this is nothing short of a miracle. It is incredible that we can go out and do this, that we can play with gravity, that we can target around the moon, that we can send 4 humans in a spaceship 250,000 miles from home and bring them back. There is nothing this nation cannot do when it has a vision. It just has the capability to go out and get anything done we want to get done.
All right, next up we have Congresswoman Grace Meng of New York.
Hello to our crew. This is Grace Meng from Queens, New York. Thank you to the administrator, and thank you to our trailblazing crew. My question is, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Our entire country has been following your journey with pride, and we're incredibly grateful for your service. You've spent years in simulators at Johnson Space Center that recreated every vibration, system failure, cockpit light with high accuracy, and most of you have even been to the International Space Station. Now that you're almost home, what is the one thing that has surprised you about this mission that your training and prior space experience did not or could not prepare you for? And we can't wait to welcome you back to Earth. Thank you again.
Well, it's going to be a 2-for-1 deal because I definitely have to call out what Christina was talking about, seeing the far side of the moon, but eclipsed. And when it's eclipsed, the sun was, I know you saw some pictures, and the pictures look pretty close to what we saw, but it really was something. But the other thing, kind of your question made me think about when you're talking about all the simulations. We simulate the first day of the mission a lot and the last day of the mission a lot. And near the end of the first day, we separate from the upper stage of the rocket, and then that's when we did the proximity ops where we flew around the upper stage as if we were docking to it. And in the simulator, you watch and you have all these things you're checking to see if you have actually separated from the vehicle. And if you haven't, you have a bunch of things you need to do because that's not good. And in space, it's nothing like that. We essentially got ejected off the top of that thing. We were all sitting in here waiting for that moment, and all of a sudden we're all pinned to the floor. Like, well, I guess we separated.
All right, next we have a question from Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona.
Hey guys, I know you're busy, so I don't want to take up much of your time here, but very proud of you. World's looking up because of you. You've reminded millions of people what a crew and a mission and a shared purpose can really do. So thank you for taking and carrying the hopes of a nation beyond the horizon. I think we really needed this at this point in our history. I really appreciate it. And Victor, since I'm in John McCain's Senate seat and you are a McCain alum, so this question is for you. Just curious, how fast are you going at EI? What kind of G profile are you going to be on? And how sporty of a ride do you expect it to be when those chutes open?
Oh, Mark, thank you. It's great to hear from you. Thank you for your continued leadership and support and friendship. And the ride's been amazing. Jumping off the pad was awesome. And a lot of people think about rocket science and staging power versus weight. Well, slowing down from that speed takes just as much thought and practice. And so we're going to come into the atmosphere at about almost 40 times the speed of sound. And then we will slow down to a 20-mile-an-hour touchdown into the Pacific. But the G profile will actually be very similar to what it is on launch. We'll get up into the 3 Gs, just over 3 Gs on the way down for a normal entry. But if it was a ballistic, we could get up to as high as 9, 10 Gs, which is what you pull in a fighter jet. But we could be doing that for several minutes, for 8 or 9 minutes. And so the G profile is going to be pretty sporty. But when we touch down, the heat shield and the parachutes are going to get us nice and slow so that we touch down at what did I say, about a 20-mile-an-hour splash down in the Pacific. And we can't wait to see the dive team and the Navy that are going to come and pick us up.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, next we have Senator Katie Britt of Alabama.
Hey, everybody. I know how proud we are in Alabama of the role that Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville has played in this incredible mission. So I can't even imagine how unbelievably proud your families are of you and how excited they are to see you soon and to welcome you back to Earth. So instead of a question, I want to let each of you just take the next minute to publicly address your children and the next generation of space explorers as history-making space flight, this mission enters its final hours. So thank you so much for your incredible service and your example.
Thank you very much for this question. We are in a maneuver right now, so I hope we don't lose the signal briefly, but we just heard the thrusters firing on the service module to reorient us. We have a return trajectory correction burn number 2 coming up in just a little while. But I just want to look at my daughters, Ellie and Katie, and just say I love you, and their support has been unbelievable. I don't think they knew what this mission really meant when we launched, but they have learned through the outpouring of public support, their friends' support, and family support. Really, the world has come together. We have seen it, and we have seen it through their eyes, too. And it has been a very proud moment for me as their father to see the joy in their expression and the way they email and communicate when we have private conferences. It's still on.
For my 3 children, Devin, Ashley, and Caitlin, I think it's worth pointing out, I learn as much, maybe more from you than you learn from me. But the one thing I'd remind you, and I think is worth reminding ourselves and other youth, is that all you have to do on any given day is just get up and do your best and try to find joy in your day and try to contribute in a meaningful and positive way. And that's it. And I think we as humans, we put too much pressure on ourselves looking for perfection. And if you look at what we're doing out here, it is far from perfection, but we are getting it done.
Wait, that's us. The music.
Genesis, Maya, Joya, and Corinne, as we are on our way back from this dream of a mission, your mom and I look forward to supporting you, chasing and catching your own dreams. We spent years coaching you, but we are very much in that transition to being cheerleaders and just rooting for you in life. And to the future citizens out there, the same sentiment applies. I hope this mission is giving you something that you can take and put in your pocket or in your heart and mind that you keep with you. But it's not because we want you to see what we've tried to show you. It's because we want you to take this and build a vocabulary to explain the world to us.
Wow. Wow, Victor. Why do I ever answer questions around you guys?
That was incredible.
That was incredible.
I'll take this second to say something to my 9 nieces and nephews, which is, I love you, and thank you for the amazing letters you wrote me, the amazing pictures you drew me. You had beautiful Earths and rockets, and they truly touched my mission, and I feel like you're here with me.
All right, next is Congressman Mike Herodopoulos of Florida.
Hi, crew. This is Congressman Mike Herodopoulos, and I represent Kennedy Space Center in Congress. And what a thrill to have watched you take off from Kennedy Space Center. It truly unified America. I have a question from one of our local voters here in Indian River County. Her name is Renee, and she said, what were you thinking when you were going around the moon, the furthest ever from Earth, on the dark side of the moon? We'd love to hear your thoughts as you made your way around the moon out of radio contact.